Deter as verb. To discourage or discourage from doing something. To prevent or discourage from acting or proceeding. The increased police presence was meant to deter criminals from committing crimes. The threat of punishment is supposed to deter students from cheating on exams. The high cost of cigarettes is intended to deter people from smoking. The fear of failure deterred him from pursuing his dream of becoming an artist. The warning signs are there to deter people from swimming in the dangerous waters. Elucidate, to make something clear or easy to understand, especially by explaining or defining it. To throw light upon, clarify, or explain. The teacher spent extra time elucidating the complex math problem so that all the students could understand it. The scientist presented a study that elucidated the relationship between climate change and biodiversity loss. The detective asked the witness to elucidate on the details of the crime. The author included footnotes in the book to elucidate the historical context of the story. The expert was able to elucidate the technical jargon so that the layperson could understand the topic. Eradicate as verb. To completely destroy or eliminate something, especially a harmful or undesirable thing. To root out and destroy completely, as if by pulling up by the roots. The vaccination campaign is aimed at eradicating the spread of the virus. The government is working to eradicate poverty in the country. The use of pesticides is helping to eradicate the disease. The company is taking steps to eradicate the use of single-use plastics. The police are working to eradicate drug trafficking in the area. Flashcards, to flow continuously or change constantly. To melt or fuse, especially in metallurgy. The company is in the process of fluxing its marketing strategy to better target younger consumers. The river's water levels flux throughout the year due to changes in rainfall and snowmelt. The prices of stocks are constantly fluxing based on market conditions and investor behavior. The artist's creative process often involves fluxing between different styles and mediums. The software program fluxes its output based on user input and data analysis. Graft as verb. The act of attaching a shoot or twig from one plant to a stem or root of another plant in order to propagate it. The police officer tried to graft evidence to the suspect, but was caught in the act. The company attempted to graft their competitors' customers by offering them better deals. The politician was accused of trying to graft votes by offering gifts to potential supporters. The student was caught grafting material from the internet for his paper and was given a failing grade. The gardener grafted a new type of rose onto the existing plant, hoping to create a unique hybrid. Hidhasfer, to avoid making a clear or definite statement, often by using ambiguous or evasive language. To surround or enclose something with a barrier or obstruction, often for the purpose of protection or security. He tried to hedge his bets by investing in different types of stocks. The company hedged against a rise in the cost of raw materials by buying futures contracts. She hedged her answer, not wanting to commit to a specific course of action. The politician hedged when asked about his position on the controversial issue. The player hedged his position on the field to protect the ball from the opponent's tackles. To make a formal offer to pay a certain amount of money or fulfill a contract. To offer or present something for consideration, especially as part of a formal process. She tendered her resignation to the boss. The contractor tendered a bid for the renovation project. He tendered his apology for the mistake he made. The company tendered the payment for the services rendered. The seller tendered the goods to the buyer upon payment. Assuage as verb. To make something less severe, intense, or painful. To ease or alleviate. To relieve or alleviate pain, discomfort, or distress. The medicine helped to assuage the patient's pain, making them feel more comfortable. The apology assuaged the customer's anger, showing that the company valued their feedback. The mother's hug assuaged the child's fear, providing reassurance and comfort. The therapist's advice helped to assuage the client's anxiety, giving them coping strategies and tools to manage their emotions. The rain assuaged the drought, providing water to the dry fields and reservoirs. Betray as verb. To break the trust of someone by doing something that is harmful or disloyal. To reveal or give away information that is supposed to be kept secret, especially to an enemy or a rival. The spy was arrested for betraying his country's secrets to a foreign power. She felt betrayed by her best friend, who had been spreading rumors about her behind her back. The athlete was accused of betraying his team by accepting bribes to throw the game. The soldier was executed for betraying his comrades by collaborating with the enemy. The employee was fired for betraying the company's trust by stealing confidential information. Concede as verb. To admit or acknowledge the truth or existence of something. To yield, give in, or surrender something. After a long and contentious debate, the politician finally conceded to the opposition's demands. The tennis player conceded the match after injuring her ankle in the second set. The company had to concede that their new product was not as successful as they had hoped. The lawyer advised his client to concede certain points during the trial in order to appear more reasonable. The losing team finally conceded defeat after the other team scored their fifth goal. Degrade as verb. To lower the status, reputation, or value of something. To reduce in quality, value, or rank. The chemical waste from the factory was degrading the local environment. The erosion caused by heavy rainfall is degrading the soil quality. The constant exposure to sunlight can degrade the quality of certain materials. The company's reputation was degraded after a scandal involving its executives. The politician was criticized for using language that degraded her opponents. Differentiate as verb. To distinguish or recognize the difference between two or more things. To make a distinction between things that are otherwise similar. The new model is designed to differentiate the company's product line from that of its competitors. Can you differentiate between these two similar-sounding words? The patient's symptoms made it difficult to differentiate between the two potential diagnoses. The company is working to differentiate itself in the crowded market by emphasizing its commitment to sustainability. The teacher used a variety of strategies to help students differentiate between fact and opinion. Excoriate as verb. To denounce or reprimand vehemently, usually involving strong disapproval or condemnation. To strongly criticize or censure someone or something, often in a severe or harsh manner. The journalist was quick to excoriate the government's handling of the crisis. His speech aimed to excoriate the unfair treatment of marginalized communities. The public began to excoriate the company for its environmental negligence. The movie critic proceeded to excoriate the film for its lack of originality. She decided to excoriate the restaurant for its poor service in her review. Ejemplificar ver. To illustrate or demonstrate by example. To serve as a clear and typical example of a particular quality or thing. His behavior exemplifies the values of the organization. The way she handled the situation exemplifies good judgment. The success of the project exemplifies teamwork and collaboration. The museum's collection exemplifies the diversity of the region's art. The teacher used a real-life example to exemplify the concept. Flashcards. To cause to become red or rosy, especially in the face due to health, embarrassment, or excitement. To cleanse thoroughly or rapidly, especially with a flow of water or other fluid. The police flushed the suspects out of the building. He flushed the toilet after using it. The doctor instructed her to flush the wound with warm water. She flushed her cheeks with embarrassment when he complimented her. He flushed the radiator to clear out the old coolant. Verb. To obstruct or block progress or movement. To slow down or hinder the progress or movement of something. The fallen tree impeded traffic on the highway. The rocky terrain impeded progress on the hiking trail. The language barrier impeded communication between the two groups. The construction site impeded pedestrian access to the sidewalk. The bad weather impeded the rescue mission. Mitigate as verb. To make something less severe, intense, or harmful. To reduce the impact, severity, or intensity of something. The company took steps to mitigate the effects of the pandemic on their employees by allowing remote work. She tried to mitigate the damage to her reputation by issuing a public apology. The doctor prescribed medication to mitigate the patient's pain. The government implemented measures to mitigate the environmental impact of the construction project. The school implemented policies to mitigate bullying and harassment among students. Qualify as verb. To demonstrate or possess the necessary skills, abilities, knowledge, or experience required for a particular task or activity. To meet the necessary criteria or requirements for a particular position, status, or role. To qualify for the job, candidates must have at least 5 years of relevant experience. The athlete had to qualify for the finals by winning a preliminary round. The college student had to take a test to qualify for advanced placement courses. The company had to meet certain criteria to qualify for a government grant. The restaurant had to qualify for a health inspection before it could open its doors. Sanction as verb. To give official authorization or approval for an action or decision. To impose a measure to enforce compliance or punish disobedience. The government sanctioned the construction of the new bridge. The organization sanctioned the use of the new software. The referee sanctioned the player for unsportsmanlike behavior. The court sanctioned the lawyer for misconduct. The teacher sanctioned the use of extra credit for improving grades. Augment as verb. To increase or add to something that already exists. To make something greater in size, amount, intensity, or value. The company plans to augment its workforce by hiring more employees and contractors to handle the increased demand for its products. The musician used a variety of digital tools and instruments to augment their live performance and create a more immersive and interactive experience for the audience. The scientist's research aims to augment our understanding of the human brain and its functions, and to develop new treatments for neurological disorders. The farmer uses fertilizers and irrigation systems to augment the yield and quality of their crops, and to reduce the risk of pests and diseases. The athlete follows a strict regimen of training, diet, and supplements to augment their strength, speed, and endurance, and to achieve their peak performance in competitions. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.